video on my practice of project management. So first of all, we will start off by talking about what project management means to me. Then we will move on to what I believe are the key success factors of project management. And then we'll talk about my individual approach to project management, and I'll set some kind of guidelines or key things that I think you should take into consideration or you should do in order to complete a project successfully. And then finally, I will end with a conclusion. So, what does project management mean to me? Well, to me, project management means having the ability to lead and complete a project in time and successfully. Now, I feel like success has a different meaning to everyone. So to me personally, success means that when completing the project, that all team members are satisfied and their expectations are met, that the expectations are met and the value is provided to the end users. Also that there's equal collaboration within the team during all stages of the project. And most importantly, overall, there's a good outcome for all stakeholders. So smiley faces all around. So, what are the key success factors of project management? Well, there are many factors that can play a role, as we've already seen from doing our initial group essays about all the different theoretical frameworks within project management, and also I'm sure through our own individual experiences. However, personally for me, there are a couple of approaches that I agree more with. To start off with, I agree with the selective approach to project management. They argue that the key success to project management is how the manager selects the human competencies and characteristics and how they're the right fit for the project. And it's all about the way such resources are optimally utilized, as it will determine the outcome of the project. So this kind of theoretical approach has very much fit with my own experience within project management. Prior to starting, for example, our intercultural marketing project, we had a meeting to discuss each team member's abilities and the strengths and weaknesses and how they can best contribute to the project. Based on this discussion, we divided the type of task each member was in charge of. So for example, for our final assignment, we had to create a marketing plan and present it within a video. So we decided that one person would focus on editing, another would focus on acting, and someone else would creatively write the script. By selecting which member would be most suitable to perform which tasks, we were able to really utilize fully our team resources in an efficient manner, and the outcome of our project was much greater than if we had not considered the human characteristics and competencies carefully. So this approach also emphasizes the importance of the project manager having competencies within 4 key areas. Business competencies, as the ability to see and implement goals are important for the company. Social and organizational competencies such as leadership, communication, negotiation, problem solving, and influencing the organization, as well as project management competencies. So in my experience, the area of competencies which is most critical for project management success is social and organizational competencies. This competence felt even more important while working within global virtual teams. I believe that working with diverse people in different locations without physical and face-to-face contact, the project manager must have higher social abilities such as communication skills, negotiation, and conflict solving. As in the virtual environment, key verbal and non-verbal cues may be left out. Therefore, perhaps it's easier for key communication elements to be lost and for misunderstandings to happen. In addition, different cultures and ways of communicating can also create misunderstandings, hence why I believe the need for these skills is higher within global virtual teams. This was really apparent to me in KVS1. Our team had a couple of miscommunications, as also setting a meeting was difficult. So the first project, to begin with, we mostly communicated asynchronically through WhatsApp. And after the first task, we kind of came together as a team and discussed these issues and miscommunications and established a bit more of a clear plan on how to have better communication within the team and how to resolve any conflicts that may appear in the future. It also enabled us to better perform when it came to future weekly challenges. In continuation, another second stream of literature, which I really agree with and think is a key factor to success, is the project management and business success approach. So this approach argues that the triple constraint of cost, time, scope, and then afterwards was added soft skills is perhaps not sufficient to ensure product success. So instead they claim that the triple constraint ignores or disregards customer satisfaction and acceptance of the project by the end user if it does not provide sufficient value to them. So this basically means that as a project manager, one must take into account and think about end user expectations and must embed them into the project during all life cycle stages. For example, during our project for social value creation course, we sat down with the team and discussed in depth what we believe was wanted by us from the course leaders, what they want us to accomplish, how do they want us to show their learnings, and how can we go about fulfilling their criteria to the best of our ability. Not only did we talk among the group to understand what each other's perception or idea of what was expected from us was, but once we had discussed together, it was apparent that we had all slightly different ideas, and therefore we wanted to consolidate them by asking the course leaders. At every step of the project, we tried to consider the expectations from others and how we can fulfill those. It was a learning process which we did not nail on the first try, but only after completing 3 of the first assignments did we start to better understand how to truly make sure that we're providing the highest level of satisfaction for the course leaders and the rest of our course mates. Then moving on to my individual approach to project management. So I've compiled here kind of like a guideline of some key things that I believe must be done in order to complete successfully a project or manage successfully a project. I think first of all it's really important to talk through the team expectations and what every team member wants to accomplish with this project to make sure the team is on the same page. But also at the same time, it's really important to consider the end user's expectations and discuss the individual understanding of those and come up with the team understanding of the user's expectations. So then you can formulate a plan and think of how all these expectations can be met. So you can set a concrete kind of plan and guidelines and clear objectives for the project. It's also important to discuss team members' competencies and abilities and assign tasks prior to starting the project in order to most efficiently utilize the team's resources. Then I believe it's also really important to enable open communication and decide which communication channels you'll be using throughout the project, what the frequency of communication is going to be, and also the means of the meeting, what time you're going to meet each week, if you're going to set the meeting time in advance, where you're going to meet, how you're going to meet, how you're going to prepare prior to each meeting, what work is going to be done during each meeting, and kind of set an agenda for each meeting, and so on. So overall, it's important to establish a plan of action from the get-go, have a clear vision, and kind of set realistic deadlines for each stage in order to ensure that you will be completing the project in a timely manner. So overall, I think it's important to really establish a clear project guidelines by considering all these factors and have this clear vision and objectives for the project and the team. So in conclusion, what I've learned throughout this year about project management is there's no magic potion. There's no perfect mix of tasks or things that you will do that will ensure project success, project management success. Project management can depend on many, many different factors, and each project is unique as well as each team. So therefore, project management really is not black or white. There are many grey areas, and I think people is a key component that changes and will impact each time. So you really have to figure out what will work best in that specific project with that specific team of people. So each project for me is a learning curve experiment where you really have to find out what works best for the specific project and team. There's no kind of one solution to project management, but instead you have to experiment and learn along the way. And each time you have more experience within project management, it becomes somewhat easier. But you should still keep your mind open and just try to really think and understand what's going on within the team and the project, and be open, have an open problem-solving mentality as well. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you, and I will open up now to questions or comments.